So starting right now, this is a demonstration of an application I built. So the problem we are using this application to solve is the problem that was presented to me as a developer was that the ushers in the church were taking too long to fill in the names of new customers or new visitors to the church. And anytime they collect the data on a hand card before feeding it to the database manually and then manually picking the numbers again to send text messages and sometimes emails, it takes over a week. So we had to build a solution that would simplify this process and then expedite the way and manner in which they capture the details and also digitize it. So what we did was that we used the form processor, as you can see here. So the first step is you take a picture of the hand card with your mobile phone, you click on analyze, and then you pick from a list of images on your mobile phone, you click open, and it begins to analyze your image. That is, AI builder itself begin to analyze your image. So there are certain limitations even though with this application, due to the fact that I just used 5 data sets to train it, but even at that I'm seeing certain levels of accuracy that's quite impressive. And then automatically it populates the form, as you can see here, with the details captured from this. So I can correct this, as you see I did here, go through this again. There's a space in the email address, so I'm going to adjust that as well. And then you can see that it's just very simple and straightforward, right? I can zoom in, as you can see, to have a better look at the, it's even giving me the percentage of how sure it is of the values that it has just captured, right? So, and then when I'm done, I can click on submit. So immediately I click on submit, it sends the data to the database, which is actually a SharePoint list. So the step to building this application is quite simple. The first is to go to AI Hub from make.powerapps.com. You come to AI Hub, you come to document, no, to AI models. You click on AI models. You see a list of models here. We have documents, text, structured data, images, and the rest. I'm going to focus on documents, and I want to be able to extract custom information from documents. So I'm going to click on that. Going to go down. You can read through what it says, then click on create custom model. So it's going to take a little while to load, and while it's doing that, we can switch over to create a SharePoint list. But then, as you can see here, the SharePoint list will just basically capture dates, first name, surname, phone number, and email address. I won't go as far as capturing home address and birthday for this particular one I want to show you. So so you can have an idea. Okay, you're going to given options, so you can have something for general documents. If the document is unstructured and the data you want to capture is from different documents. If you want to capture invoices, different types of invoices, you can use this as well. So the situation where you need invoices is for a situation where you're managing the expenses of an organization. You're keeping record of it, you can use invoices as well. Then you can have, we're going to be using fixed templates because the hand card is used, it's just one hand card used across all the used to calculate all the information for different people. So we're going to click on next. We're going to then click on add. So this is where we add the different data points we want to collect. First, we're going to start with the text field. But since the first item there is dates, let's start with dates. Let's call this dates. And then our date is actually day, month, year. We're going to click on done. Next, we click on text, which is first name. And then you click on add, click another one, which is going to be surname. Then we're going to click on done. So, and then finally we're going to have for email address, we're going to use text field. So next, I'm going to call this email. Since we don't have a data type for email, we're just going to make use of this. So this is the ones we're going to use, and then you click on next, just 4 data points. Click on new collection. As you can see here, a collection is a group of documents sharing similar layouts and wording. Thanks to collection, you can create a unique AI model that will extract the same information from various documents. So you can read more on that. And then I'm going to click on this little. After clicking on new collection, I'm going to click on this plus button here. Then it gives you an instruction to have 5 or more documents. So I'm going to add documents. Go to upload from my device. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we open, and I'm going to upload 5 documents. It's going to take a little while to upload the documents. The photos were sent to me on WhatsApp from the client. And then I'm going to click on done. Click on next. When you have clicked on done, then we're going to pick. It's analyzing all the documents. We're going to be picking all the various data tags on the document. So we're going to click on, just giving you an overview of how to use the interface, right? You can click on got it, and then you can begin to click, and then this is date. This now is first name. This is surname. So the data points are captured already. So if, for instance, you have a situation like this where you have email and you don't have on the form, you're just going to click on the 3 dots here, the ellipsis, and then click on not available in documents. And then once it checks this, it means you can move to the next document. Go to click on this. This is going to be our date. This is going to be our first name. This is going to be our surname. Then the entirety of this is going to be our email. Then see it has checked, you go to the next as well, and then you just keep doing that. So even for this, you can see that the date format is different, but you still capture it. You're just using it to train the model. First name, click first name, surname, email, and then when you click on it, let me show you something. When you click on this, for instance, it gives you the value here first. So you click on this, so you have to draw this across and then capture both. Moses Levi. Then you see his first name, surname is empty. Next, you capture the email. Since the surname is empty and blank here, I'm going to click not available in document, and then move to the next. Have the value here, date. It's not completely accurate, but the more data, the more pictures we use to train the model, the better it will get. So we click on our first name. So we tag this as surname. We have our email address column blank as well, so you can see, you tag all your documents, click next to review your model. So there's a challenge usually people have. I just want to mention this at this point. This doesn't come up, this button doesn't come up unless every data point you have is captured by the artificial intelligence, or you come to this place and you click not available in documents. So it means that for each and every document that you upload, whether you have 100, you're going to tag each and every one of those documents, and unless they're all tagged, you won't move to the next stage. So this button will now apply, and then if it successfully tags, you're going to see this little purple overlay with a check mark on it. Then you can click on next, which means it tags your document. You can now click on train. And then once you click on train, it begins to train your model, and then once your model is training, just keep waiting. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come to SharePoint, and then on SharePoint we're going to create a list. So the list will serve as our database. So click on this. Then we have a couple of preferably let's create it on a site. Pick a site, and then once you have a site, if you don't know how to create a site, there are other videos you can watch on how to create a SharePoint site, and then you move on to picking one of those sites, and then you click on list. So and then you click on blank list. We're going to name it new, it's comma data. Let's just name it that. Then click on create. Then once we've done that, you can see that we already have we now have our SharePoint list. We're going to create the columns. It's going to be text for the first one, so that we have it name as first name, save, single line of text. We add another column, text, surname, save, and then for the email address, we do not have a column that can take email address. So we're going to use text for the email address. Try and have them joined. Let's just work with these 3 data points quickly, and let's come back. So you can see your model isn't published yet, but it's done training. So when it's done training, it brings you here. You can go to click on publish so that we can use the model. And then once it's published, you can just click on this one of these icons here, so you can directly use it in Power Automate or Power Apps. So the sweet thing about AI models is that it serves also as a connector both for Power Apps and then Power Automate. So after training your model, you can take it to Power Automate, and on Power Automate you can use it for whatever. So you can use it to bring the power of artificial intelligence to Power Automate. For Power Apps, you can just click, sorry, you're going to click on use model. Then it's going to show you build intelligent apps. You click it, and then it begins to build the application for you. So it's going to build an app with blank canvas. So there's no need for any automation. It's going to skip. So the only part of the automation that's required is the secondary part, where you need to send an automated email. So you can basically just do that. Send an email. Just do a little send an email automation, probably 2-3 steps, and then you are done. So I'm going to insert an edit form. Not connecting it to any data source yet. I'm going to insert a button. Take it to the bottom, and then this will be after selecting the button, you're going to come to this right hand side where you see the properties. Then you're going to double click, clear, and then click on submit. So once you click on submit, I want you to click the form again, either on left hand side here in the tree view, or you click it here. And once you do that, you see an option here for data. You can click that, and then you search for SharePoint. Here, click on SharePoint, add a connection, connect. Then once you've done that, just give it a little minute. It's going to bring up the sites. So these are the sites. This is the site where we created our list. And then you can see we have the list here as new comma data. I'm going to click on connect. Then it's automatically going to have our form filled for us. But then we're going to adjust the fields in the form. Click on the fields here, as you can see, where the 4 selected is. And then over title here, you're going to see 3 little dots on the far right. So you click on it, you have an option to move down, to select control, but I'm going to be removing it. I just need first name, surname, and email address. And then I'm going to close this. So these automatically, once I've clicked on submit, I'm now going to add a function to this. So I'm going to click on my submit button, go to the top right here, and then look for unselect, which you can see is usually selected by default, but in case it is not. And then under unselect, make sure it's on unselect here. I'm going to use the function submit form. So you can see it's giving me the suggestion. And then I'm going to open brackets. And then the only form is the one is also giving me a suggestion for form 1. And then I'm going to close it. So, and what I want to do is that I want to reset the form as soon as it submits. I'm going to click on reset form, which is also a function. Then I'm going to use this as well. So once we have done this, we can go ahead to test the app. Oh, so you might have a challenge with the form. When you go back to click on form, for the edit mode, click on new. Don't leave it on edit, click on new, and then play the app. You're going to see it. And then of course, we have not, even if you analyze it, it's not going to automatically fill in the data. So let's do one more thing. So we're going to click on the inner part. That's this part here. So this is the form generally. This is what we call a data card, right? But under the data card, there's a little place here where you're going to enter the data. You click on that. It's called data card value. So as you can see, it's parent.default. You can, and you want to remove that, so you can go cannot edit in read only editor. So you're going to click on advanced here and click the unlock to change properties, and then you're going to clear this, and then you're going to get the name of your form processor here. So you come back to the data card, and then for the default value is going to be form processor 1 dot, look for the values, so dots, then you click on results, form processor 1 dot results, and then the results you put dots, and then you have first name. So that's how it works. Let's give it a little bit of squiggly lines. Okay, so if this is giving us the data type of record, so we're going to clear this dot. Let's skip this. Let me use this instead, since this is just shorter, and then to solve that problem, let me just make sure. Okay, so it's going to also be dots, then value. So I'm going to go to surname as well. Then advanced, you unlock it. I'm going to do clear this, have form processor one dot result first dot surname dot value. Then we're going to have the same thing for the email address. You're going to have to unlock it, so it's display advanced unlock. If not, you won't be able to use this. So you do form processor one dot, we have results dot this will be email address, and then the value of the email address is what we want to send to this. So you can see that this data type is now text. So we close this and we now try the app. Click on play, and then you click on analyze. So you bring in your documents, then it extracts the values for you. Takes a little bit of time sometimes, longer, shorter. Then you just wait for it, and then it fills it, and then when you click on submit, once you see the dots above go and disappear, you know that you have success. So that's basically it for this part. The part for the automation will take lesser time. So that will just be basically about connecting the Power Automate itself to SharePoint, and then picking up the email address, then sending the automation to the person who's going to be receiving the email. And then there's also a feature in Power Automate where you can send automated text messages. So that's using Twilio or any other connector, and then you can also look into that. So that's it for it. See you in the next video, which has to do with the sending of the automation.